What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Dan here from Headwaters Kayak. As promised, I've got the Oru inlet and the Eddyline Sky 10, and we're going to be doing a flotation comparison, talking to you guys all about positive air flotation and why it's so important. In my last video, I reviewed the Oru inlet and I talked about positive air buoyancy. I installed a couple of float bags in this boat purposely for this demo. I want to tip this thing over and show you guys what positive air buoyancy means and why it's so important to your boat. So what we're going to do is we're going to try it in this boat with the float bags, and then I'm going to do it in the Sky 10, which has sealed bulkheads. And then last thing, I'm going to get in this Oru with no flotation, take it out here maybe just 50 feet offshore, flip it over and try to get this thing back to shore. I expect it to be a little bit of a challenge, but it's important that you guys see this. I don't know why I'm doing it on a today when it's 30 something degrees outside instead of a nice warm sunny day, but here we are. We've got the boat, we've got the dry suit. We're gonna do this. Let's try it. All right, I really don't want to do this, but I know it's important. It's an important conversation that we need to be having. I need you guys to cheer me on in the comments section, okay? Again, Oru Kayaks, I've got the flotation installed. On their website and on the email they sent me, they say their boats are inherently buoyant and will float without flotation. And if we add the flotation, now it says we should be able to paddle the boat back to shore. So if that marketing is correct, we're gonna put it to the test. Seth, you mind holding my hat? Oh, this thing has a bit of flex on the hull. Sorry, my shoe's coming off. All right, that's not too bad. Oh, there we go. I'm not doing a headstand now, but we'll just swamp it a little. Sarah, I'm sinking. Oh, that's actually not too bad. So this is the first problem you're gonna end up. You're gonna, when you flip it up, oh, wasn't expecting that. Well, I installed it all correctly. It's Velcroed in. It looks like it just popped underneath. Oh, damn. Okay, let's try to get that. Oh, so cold. Okay. Oh, that is such a bummer. I kind of noticed that earlier. I should have pointed it out. I blew up the float bag, kind of made the bulkhead pop out of the little black clips. Oh. Okay. Whew. Whew. See, the nice thing if you have a bulkhead in the back, typically I can pick up the front, get the air out. That'll work. That should work. Okay. Always trying to keep track of that paddle. Don't lose that. I got a bit of water in there. I'm gonna try to get a little bit more out. Now the tricky part is getting back in. It's nice if you have a friend that can support you. Unfortunately, Seth's not a very supportive friend. He's got his hands full. We'll do this the old-fashioned way. Oh, nice. So if I had a friend's help, I think that would be a lot easier. But it's doable. I was able to go ahead and have enough flotation to pick the front up, drain some of the water out, and then once the water was low, I was able to kind of shake it around, get the rest out. And the boat's so light that I was actually able to pick it up and get that water out. So it was not smooth. I guarantee I would do that a few times and it'd get better, but at least it was doable. It was safe. So the bulkhead popping out was kind of a bummer, but honestly, I was saying when I was setting it up that it was kind of hard to get it to stick in where I thought it should go. And then as I inflated the float bag, it wanted to pop that bulkhead out. And I think as I was moving it around and stuff that it just popped right out. So great, it wasn't ideal, but it kind of gives you a realistic idea of what could happen out there. I think it's a good time to talk about dry suits and how important it is to have immersion gear if you're paddling in cold water. I would be absolutely incapacitated if it wasn't for this suit. I mean, I am cold and shaking with insulating layers on and a dry suit. I can't imagine if I was just out here paddling, I'd be having a rough day. And I hope it goes without saying at this point, but a life jacket, that kept me up. I mean, I was almost hyperventilating when I was in the water there. I was like struggling to talk and catch my breath, but we did it. I'm impressed. I'm excited. I think that was a realistic, first attempt. Let's go ahead and hop in the Sky 10 and I'm going to demonstrate the difference between float bags and actual sealed bulkheads. So I thought it'd be good to assess the situation a little bit. This is what the boat looked like when I got back to shore. As you can see, it still had a bit of water in there. The back bulkhead, it looks like it popped out of those little black things, but it didn't pop all the way out, thankfully. And the seat, this thing, it just clicks in right here. But somehow when I was getting in and out, it popped out. And this guy just bungees on. Again, it's a portable kayak. It has to be able to easy collapse down and go together. But a little bit of a yard sale. Okay, let's get in the next one and get this done. I'm freezing. All right, let's do it again. Seth, hold my hat here. You're the man. I did that last one, only got my hair a little bit wet, so hopefully I can do that again. See if I can do the stand-up test in the Sky 10. Oh, let's go. Let's try to fill this cockpit up as much as we can. And one thing you're going to notice, it's a lot harder to do. You got so much buoyancy that you're fighting against. Even with my weight on it, if I flip this thing upright, my kayak's still floating really high. Now if I go to the front and do the same thing, get the water out. Now I've got most of the water out of the boat. So when I go to do my self-rescue, I've got a lot drier ride. I'm gonna kick my feet to the surface, think about getting my chest up in the seat. Oh. It's a small boat for me. It wasn't ideal, but it was a heck of a lot easier than the Oru as far as getting back in. I think the biggest difference is I only have an inch of water in my boat, so if I had my bailer, I could just bail out the rest of the water, continue on my paddle. Obviously this is a small boat for me, so it was a little tricky to get in, and definitely it's way easier if I have somebody holding onto my cockpit, doing a T-rescue, and then helping me get in. If you guys haven't already and you want to learn more about rescues, we have a detailed rescue video. I'm going to link that up here at the end of this video. Take your time, check that out. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Now the moment you guys have all been waiting for, I'm going to take the Oru out one more time. We're going to take the flotation out, and I'm going to demonstrate why it's so important to have flotation in your kayak. Okay, so here's the check on shore. This is how much water was left in my cockpit. Not bad considering how much I struggled to get that up. Now one thing with the rear bulkhead is I can take the boat and just drain that water out. That water's gonna slide behind the seat, hit the bulkhead, and fall right out. And if I was doing a T-rescue, that's how I'd get the water out. Now I've got a nice dry cockpit. Pop this guy out. I'll try to get this bulkhead. I wanna show you guys what I mean about this bulkhead. See these two little grooves it's supposed to slide into? Maybe it fucking goes there. No, this Velcro obviously goes here, but as I push it down, it just doesn't really want to stay lined up very well over there. Okay, float bag is out. And I want to read this to you right here. This is what the float bags had to say. It says, paddle with confidence, even in open water. Custom-shaped float bags keep the Oru kayak afloat and maneuverable, even if capsized. I think we saw firsthand that might be a little bit of a stretch. I mean, I was 150 feet offshore, and on flat conditions, and it was a little challenging to get back in, get it to shore. Granted, I had the malfunction, but still I think it would be challenging, especially if you're by yourself. And with no flotation, they say the boat floats itself, so it's not going to sink on you, but I think we're going to find it to be a little more challenging. Let's go hit the water and find out. Okay. All right, last boat, which is good because my hands are so cold. You can see how red they are. All right, let's do this one last time. I'm in a little tighter to shore this time because I don't see it going as successfully. Flipping over. Okay. Oh, get the boat. So now I don't have any flotation to kind of lift one end up against. If I lift up the front end, the water just drains to the back. So there's no real way to get the water out of this boat. It's in here. If I had somebody else in another kayak, we could do what they call an X-Rescue, which is challenging to pull this kayak up and over and drain it out through the cockpit. But as far as me getting back in, let's kick my feet to the surface. Okay. I was worried about that. Okay. Let's see, I gotta try to get the water out of this thing, at least try it. Yeah. Okay. Just we rock it. Still too much water. Oh, I was actually able to get the water out. I didn't expect that. I was just like I would do in a solo canoe, try to rock it. Try to do this without getting a bunch of water inside. Yes! Oh, I'm so pumped right now. I did not think that was gonna work. Whew. That was a lot of work. I'm gonna get my paddle out. We'll break that down. Well, I'm not gonna lie, you guys, I'm pretty proud. I did not expect that to work. It wasn't easy, but because the cockpit is so large, I was able to do, and maybe because of the way it folds, I was able to do a canoe technique where I get the boat upside down and basically rock it back and forth, create an air bubble, just make it bigger and bigger. And then when I got it to the top, it was light enough that I was able to pick it up and flip it over. And then from there, do my typical re-entry. Same thing with the bulkheads. The bulkheads are all cattywampus again. They kind of popped right out. But I was able to get back in. I don't think most people would be able to do that. And I hope you see the challenges of when it goes wrong. That thing just sinks. Now, it doesn't go fully underwater. I got to be fair. The boat will stay buoyant. But swimming a swamped boat to shore is nearly impossible. I actually feel I tweaked my shoulder just doing what I just did there. Highly encourage you, come out on a warm summer day, try this stuff for yourself, try it firsthand, get to know your equipment. I hope you really see the value of a boat with flotation and bulkheads. That was way easier in the Sky 10 and definitely easier even with just the flotation, being able to lift up the front end and get that water out. I think I'm gonna go get warm clothes on, you guys. That was super fun. Thanks for hanging out with us. Hope you enjoyed that little experiment. I think we'll keep doing more stuff like this on the channel. I think it's fun to kind of put kayaks through their paces, see what they're capable of, and also find out their limitations. If you like this sort of thing, leave it in the comments and let us know. If you're not already, subscribe to the channel. And until next time, this is Dan wishing you happy paddling. We'll see you on the next one. There we go. Coming into shore here. Oh, there goes my feet.